Doctrines take time to build, and Paul did not have the luxury of time to teach the Thessalonian church extensively, although we could say he taught them well enough within the 3 Sabbaths he had spent with them. His concerns were towards the strength of their faith as they were being faced with every persecution. When Paul learned they were still standing in faith, he expressed his joy in his first letter to the Thessalonian church. Among the message Paul taught the Thessalonians while with them was the rising of the dead and what will happen to a believer after a man's life ceases to exist on earth. The epicenter of Paul's address in 2 Thessalonians is still the issue of end time. Paul's first address was the reward of the persecutors of those who have believed, and he was direct to say their reward is hellfire. But on the condition of repentance and obedience to the gospel, could they be exempted from destruction? Now, his first letter focused more on the coming of the Lord, while his second letter focused more on the day of the Lord. And he taught that the day of the Lord had not yet come until certain signs are fulfilled. Apparently, there were these false letters going around with certain informations that the day of the Lord had already come, and that those who are left here have missed the day of the Lord, while only doom and destruction is all that is yet to come. Now, this was a concern, and because the claim of this false information was ascribed to Paul and his companions, so Paul debunked this claim that he sent no report or prophecy or letter aside the first letter he sent to the Thessalonian church through Timothy, and that the day of the Lord had not yet come. He advised that they do away with such information and to stay away from false teachers. Then he began to teach them about the signs that will prove the day of the Lord is come. Interestingly, he mentioned what was called the man of lawlessness. He seemed to have taught them about this man of lawlessness while he was with them. Paul explained that the sign that will precede the coming of the Lord will be the man of lawlessness, who is not Satan. He will prophesy, he will do signs and wonders and co. The man of lawlessness is being held back by another force, which at the right time, when this particular force is taken away, this man of lawlessness will have expression. The man of lawlessness was also called the son of destruction, and is one of the Antichrist expression on the earth before the day of the Lord. Strangely, Paul said God will send those who do not believe in the message of the truth of the gospel into a delusion of some sort that will cause them to believe in the man of lawlessness until their own peril. So all this end time peril, he advised that they stand firm in faith. Now, Paul again addressed the issue of idleness as he did in this first letter, but this time he was not advising them. He was commanding them to stay away from idleness. The report of the state of the church in Thessalonica that prompted Paul to write this second letter emphasized that the rate of the idleness increased a great deal. Now, this time, Paul made himself an example as to why he was with them, he worked and earned a living. He connects this with them being busybodies due to idleness, and he commands that they get busy and earn a living for themselves. Now, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians fit into the story of Christ as the faithful gatherer of those who trust and believe in him to the end. The end time message of Jesus in Matthew 24, rightly joined with Paul's end time explanation to the Thessalonians, will circle our faith on Jesus alone and prepare us for the tribulation of the end time. Now, Paul's expression is that the day of the Lord should not confuse and surprise a believer. Rather, the day of the Lord should not also be like a thief in the night to a believer, because a believer is a son of light who is prepared, alert, self-controlled, and ready for the coming of the Lord anytime, any day, dead or alive. And this is the summary of Paul's second letter to the Thessalonian church.